I'll hit record here because Scotty probably wants that recorded. So we'll just go through some reminders, and as we mentioned before about Super Saturdays, if you guys have started looking into where your Super Saturday event will be, I'm going to mute just for a moment here. I hear some echo. So trying to find out where your Super Saturday event is, and we've talked in the past, of course, about the importance of making it to these events. And it's also great, like I never really thought to invite your friends or customers or a challenger that's, you know, having great success with Beachbody, and you've talked a bit more about the coaching opportunity, because what an impact those events made. And I've only been to one, and just the one back there in January, and I'm so glad that I did, because it didn't only just re-spark me and to come back to go full throttle in my business, but it attracted the person that I brought along with me, and it really can make a great influence or an impact on someone else's life. You don't think it will, but it might. And plus, it's just a fun place. It was really fun. So do consider finding your Super Saturday event. We do have our clean eating group open right now. And so anyone that's hosted by Jamie and Alan. And basically, from miscommunication from last month, we stopped allowing people to come into the group once beyond day 1 or 2, because it's only a 5-day group, and it really there's no point in plugging someone into the group when you're about to start day 3. So always let someone know that maybe missed getting put into that free clean eating group ran by us, that we do them monthly, and that you will be glad to get them on to the next one that comes up, and you won't forget about them, and that we do host it monthly. It's a great place, the clean eating group, to start someone that's just wanting to look for baby steps and just maybe getting some healthy eating habits, or seeing what it is, how we eat. So I love clean eating groups. I love running them, and I love being a part of them, and I'm not right now. But also, we have our challenge group on the 21st. That's getting kicked off by Garrett and Francisco, I believe. So if you just don't have a challenge group going, and you have people that you want to add into that, that is a great place to get them plugged into as well. And then Thursday. So our call for Thursday. So definitely be on to hear all about the coach opportunity call. It will be explaining a bit about myself and how I got started with Beachbody, and how it's impacted my life, and also a great place to invite your potentials, or some challengers, or anyone and everyone can be invited to this coach opportunity call to just hear more about the information about Beachbody itself, how the company got started, the breakdown of the coach details. It's a great call. I really enjoyed putting together the slideshow, and I've watched Mark here host one before with us, and getting people onto these sort of calls, just as Scotty had got Justin in prior to becoming a coach, is the reason why he's sitting here with us today, right? He was kind of hearing about it, wanted to, take his own notes, build up his own questions that he might be questioning himself in his head about becoming a coach, and what if it's really something that is going to work in his life, and that he is interested in pursuing and doing. So great call. I'm going to try and do my best to run it as smoothly as I can and get all the logistics of the slideshow. I've never done one before, but we should be good. I've got confidence that it will go well. So I see Garrett is on now. So hi, guys. So that was good. I guess the purpose of our call today is what we talk about every month. Just the same things. We're talking about our story, how Beachbody has impacted each of our lives individually, and we just, the inviting, the personal development, and they must truly be the most important things that we need to discuss and talk about, because it's coming up every week. That's what we're trying to work on for ourselves, to grow, so we can develop and, add that to our, to our business, and to grow ourselves. Why is this not? I got something pop up here, sorry. Okay, so basically, that's what we're gonna get right into tonight. So I see we have, is there an echo right now? Is it a bad echo? Okay, I'm gonna just mute you all again here. Okay. Okay, it's just so quiet when it's muted. I feel very alone over here. So I'm gonna try and, how many of there is us right now? I think I see you all. You got Katie and Angela and Robin. Okay, so who here, I guess, does most of their messaging or their invites through messages or emails? Is it 80% through social media, or is it 80% like with approaching and encounters out in your day? I personally, I'm going to admit, I am 80 to 90% through social media, Facebook, inviting. And I don't even think emailing much, but mainly Facebook. And so if we're not getting out there, and if we're not encountering conversations and sharing our story with people personally, we have to be inviting through our Facebook and creating posts and content that is continuously sharing our story. And from personal experience, what I realized just a week ago or so was we're adding people daily. You know, like we're trying to add those 2 to 3 new contacts daily into our Facebook, and we're putting them in there, and they're seeing where we're at now. They're seeing what we're doing, but some of the new people, they don't know our story. They don't know how you got started. Maybe you were somewhere completely different than where you are right now. For example, with me, it's I just recently created that video because people see Lisa now. Oh, there she's doing a workout. Oh, she's eating healthy and she's drinking her shake. Easy for her to do. She's in decent shape and she looks happy and everything's well. So it was really important for me to create that video because luckily I recorded those horrible videos. At the time it was just kind of fun to collect them, but how it was great that I had kept that content to be able to put that video together because it showed Lisa at the beginning. And I'm not always the best at being able to video myself and share my story on the spot. So I got to take the slow time and really think about what I wanted to say. And the most important details was really, I was ashamed, I was insecure, and I was depressed. And that's not the Lisa that they're seeing in Facebook now. So they needed something to relate to. So it just shows it can be as old of a story, but we need to still be consistently sharing it because new people coming into our life just see the present you. They need to know where you're really coming from. And sometimes Facebook messaging for me, it feels like that conversation can just go back and forth for so long and I'm not really getting to the point of what I'm trying to do. So I just want to, what I'm trying to figure out is we've practiced role playing before with as if we've approached it and bumped into someone that we haven't seen in a long time. For me, that doesn't happen. I'm not really bumping into people at church or at the grocery store. So those role-playing little calls that we've had before, I couldn't really relate to, or just I'm trying to figure out more with the inviting through with our social media and practicing with what maybe is working for some people with sharing those invites, or how you would respond to some people's how you would start off and initiate that conversation. And if I'm correct, I don't know. There's a couple of times, you do meet someone and you start sharing it, but what's the first thing we say is, can I get your contact information and I'll be in touch with you? So then it wasn't helping me, is what I'm saying. I really needed help when it came to my messaging and my inviting and what inviting really meant through social media. So I guess it's the same situation. We start off with our story, sharing a brief bit about our story, but does anyone want to share their story that hasn't shared their story, just in kind of like a quick 1 to 2 minute kind of speech, just saying what it is, that how Beachbody has changed their lives, and if that's how they lead off of a conversation maybe, or what your stories that you would share in your invite, because we don't type out a big 7-minute conversation, because right, we just kind of keep it short and brief. So who wants to share maybe their short and brief invite that they would send to somebody through a Facebook message? Anybody? Then there's 3 different types of people. Wayne, you'd like to share? Okay, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, Wayne. Thank you for volunteering.
Well, I'm pretty new. I'm only 2 weeks into this, but I've been in sales for 40 years. So I've, from way back, high pressure sales techniques. So really what I'm learning with Scotty's help is I'm learning to stop putting the pressure on. I have a tendency to want to get to the close way too quick. And so what I've been doing with my social media, I'm doing all the practices that we've been instructed to do. So I am connecting with 5 new people. I'm requesting 5 new people to be friends daily. I'm reconnecting with 10 different people that I haven't talked to for a while daily. And then it's creating, now I'm only 2 weeks into this, so creating those relationships again, rebuilding those relationships. But what I've started to do, which is really an adjustment for me, is I'm asking questions, with the whole intent is to ask the question of, and I kind of talk my story. I don't know if you guys saw my little video. I lost 7 pounds in 3 days last week with the 3-day refresh, man. 7 pounds in 3 days. It's amazing. 3/4 of an inch off my waist. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. And I'm posting it. People are asking me about it. I've got lots of inquiries. But anyway, through my conversations that I'm having with people on Facebook, as we're reconnecting and I'm kind of asking these questions, leading them down the path, eventually my intent is, okay, Matt, I've got a video I'd love for you to have an opportunity to take a look at. It's only 7 minutes, and it's got a lot of great information. If I was to send it to you, would you take a look at it? They're going to say yes or no. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, they're saying yes. So if I send it to you, you'll look at it, right, Matt? Well, I got to get a commitment. He's going to say yes or, well, I'll try to. Even if they say I'll try to, I'm going to send it. So I sent it off there, but it's also another message saying, okay, it's 7 minutes long. I'm going to message you again in about 10 minutes and get your feedback. If you like it, what do you think about it? And I'm just getting into that process because I want to jump right into their throat and say, this stuff is awesome. Grab your checkbook and your credit card because I'm going to sign you up before we say goodnight. And that doesn't work. That just doesn't work. Yeah. So again, I'm new. I've got some people that are on the bubble. We'll see what happens, but that's from Scotty saying, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Mm-hmm. You ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers, right?
Right.
So that's that. That's what I'm doing.
So would you say if you're reconnecting with somebody that, say, you haven't spoke with in a couple months, and you said you're building the relationship back up, do you build it up for quite some time before you just offer that video, or have you've shared what you're going through? Because I know you're saying you ask a lot of questions, but are you still talking about yourself in those conversations of how things?
I'm trying to talk about them. I'm trying to get as much information about them as I can. And so I don't have it with me, but I have my follow-up sheet. So, I've got the 5 that I'm reintroducing myself to. I got the 10 that I'm reconnecting with. But then my follow-up sheet is from all the days prior to. And Scotty's saying sometimes it takes 7 or 8 touches before you'll get somebody to trust you enough to be honest with you. Even people I've known my whole life. People are skeptical. So that's really kind of where it's at for me is just building that trust. And I feel a little odd about it because I'm kind of leading them down this path because ultimately I want to get the video or the opportunity in front of them, right? I mean, that's really what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And rather than to just come out front and do it, it is kind of walking them along. And that's what I'm doing, 7, 8, 9 touches. And then they're going to go on the back burner. I'll reconnect probably once a month. How's the kids? How's the job? How's your leg? What's going on?
That's great. Yeah. So, and when it comes, have you had any Anyone have any tips about when they've invited a complete stranger? Someone that they have just come across, maybe have liked their Facebook page. Garrett, I know you and I, we've been doing a lot of adding of contacts this last couple of weeks here with people we find in groups and stuff like that. And I know that's put me out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I've had to grow with really just start conversations with someone that I don't know. So would you say that you've thrown out some like cold contact invites, or have you been genuinely trying to get to know these people that have liked your page, or just find the common interest really?
No, like I've been trying to just, like, I've been listening to the Go for No book. So I've been just kind of going at it, point blank. I'll get to know them for a couple, 2 or 3, conversations, and then it's right into, hey, this is what I do.
Yep.
And that's what Barbie, when I had my call with Barbie the other night, she told me, because we went through some of my conversations with people that I've had in the past, and she said, you're waiting way too long.
Yeah.
So the longer you get into that conversation and the more you start talking to these people, it's great for the long haul, but she says it makes it more awkward when you actually do go to invite them. So she told me just to kind of cut it a little bit shorter and jump into it. Like last night I found a guy and he friended me immediately. I mean, it was like 2 minutes after I friended him, and it was in an entrepreneur group. So I was like, cool, he's got the right mindset. So I just jumped right into it and said, hey, this is what I do. This is what I love. Hey, if I add you to these 2 Coach Sneak Peek groups, would you join? So he added it. Not even like 5 minutes later, he had already watched Barbie's 2 videos. He went into ours and watched some of our videos and was asking me questions. So, I mean, don't be afraid to just go for no. I mean, that one scared the hell out of me, to be honest with you. It's way out of my comfort zone to just go out there and ask somebody, hey, I'm Beachbody coach, want to play?
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. I mean, you get a lot of no's, but you know what? You got to go for no in order to get the yes.
True. My transition was going from just inviting to challenge packs and to help their fitness goals to, it seemed like with this group, with Barbie and Scotty and ourselves or whatnot, and I think Matt, you're in the group as well, right? To take that next step into offering the coaching opportunity. I wasn't ready. I was ready, but it was like you say, you had to have the right mindset. You'd have to read the right personal development to really wake up that morning and say, I want to share this opportunity more than just get them started on a fitness program just alone in itself, because that's how I did just start, right? So that got me out of my comfort zone as well. But as for like that, you've just approached them, or you've found them in a group, you've added them to your contacts, that's great. And so some people say, well, that's great. I added all these strangers that I don't know to my Facebook. Now what? Now what do I say to them? Like, how should I invite them? And like I'll give you an example of what I did today. And I went into this mom group, Mom Health Fitness, and I just kind of went through and I seen this one girl that caught my eye, and went through her profile, and she wouldn't even have add friend requests. So I'm like, what do you do with that? So I privately messaged, and this is out of my comfort zone, and I said, hi, Jody, apologies for the random out of nowhere message you are receiving right now, but I was just curious. I recently started at-home fitness business, and I'm wondering if you are at all into fitness, such as Beachbody programs or home workouts. I'd love to be able to help moms get back started on their fitness journeys from home while having children, and I see that you have a few children. I recently myself have gone through a transformation after my 4th child, and I became a Beachbody coach during that process. I'd love to just add you to my contacts with your permission, and maybe you just know some people here around Red Deer that also could use the help. As moms, we don't get out too much to meet people, so this has been all new to me, having to meet new people and make new friends through social media. It was very nice to meet you and have you lived here in Red Deer long. And that's how I ended it. It was just, I just went all out there and I said what I do, that I've encountered a transformation. I'm a mom. I live here in Red Deer, and I'm trying to make new friends. I'm not a salesy person. I'm not here like, buy this for me. I explained, I'm at home. and this is how I roll. This is how I'm making new friends and meeting new people, and you've caught my eye, basically. And I got instantly a message back saying, oh my God, yes, I'd be so interested in hearing more about what it is you do and what kind of things can you offer me. She had just recently been in a women's shelter, left a domestic violent relationship with a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. She's looking for employment. She's working part-time jobs, not being there for her kids, and you can imagine what she's going through. But I reached out to her today. Maybe that was what she was waiting for, right? Just an opportunity. Maybe it's fate. Who knows how that works, right? Me, Scotty, finding him on YouTube, to me, I look at that as that was my fate calling. That was where I was meant to go. This was going to help me on the path that I needed to create the life that I want for myself. And I may have just given her that opportunity today, just by that one, getting out of my comfort zone, seeing that she's got kids, I can relate with her. She's in this fitness moms group. Let's just go for it. So that was just an example, complete stranger, someone I added, and it could have changed someone's life. And I think she's pretty anxious and excited because she's been messaging me here while we're on this team call, and I can't pick up the phone right now. So yeah. Does anyone else want to share? I know we're supposed to be sharing our story. So I feel like I'm ignoring that part, but
just one quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
How many of you guys are actually sending like messages to people before you friend them? I find I get a lot better response if I send them a personalized message and then a friend request rather than just some random friend request.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot more people that actually accept my friend request.
I just did that where I said apologies for my out of nowhere message, but I'm looking to, with your permission, would you like to be friends on Facebook, right? Like it was, I asked permission. I said like if I get some strange message in my inbox and I'm like, how do you know me and what do you want, right? So it is nice, or you look for mutual friends. If you don't have one, I hit decline sometimes because I just don't know. I don't know how they found me. It's been strange, this whole experience and journey. You're wondering, how did this person find me and what do they want? Especially when they're not related to Beachbody. So it's trying to figure that out. But so I guess we've been talking more about the inviting. It's a great place, you guys. This is such a great, safe place to share and practice our stories. I know in the last 6 months, I was like the little girl in a shell that was so confused about how to share her story out publicly. And these weekly calls and have been giving the opportunity when you get called out to share it, it really does help you grow and build up more confidence in sharing it and saying it out loud. And then being able to watch these calls back and kind of listening to yourself. And you're thinking, okay, well, I left this out or I can improve here. And we're all here to support and give, our any advice on how you can change something or add something in, or just tell you, heck, that's an amazing story and you should be sharing it more often. So does anyone who has not shared want to share a short 2 to 3 minute, practice of their story? I know we've heard. Chelsea, have you shared your story with us before? Sorry, you're muted. Unmute. Have we heard you?
It's the first time using this.
Have you shared with us?
I shared a video, but I'll go again. I can do a short one.
Okay.
I'm a stay-at-home mom and pretty much been unhealthy my whole life. And a friend reached out to me about Beachbody and said, do you want to get into shape? I'm like, well, yeah, duh. Who doesn't want to get into shape? Can you tell me how to do this mysterious thing? And she's like, yeah. So, I talked with her and it was expensive, so I couldn't afford it. And then later I decided with my tax return, that's what I was going to do. I was going to invest that money in myself and see how I liked it. So I got the challenge pack, and within 7 days, she had told me that I would be a great coach. And I was like, oh, I can look into it and give it a shot. And it's just been fantastic so far. Did the 21-day fix and lost 15 pounds and 10 inches. And we're going through it again.
Nice. So have you share that story and kind of ending with a bit of an invite or anything, Chelsea, when you've been, yeah.
I put an invite at the end of all my videos I do. And I've reached out. I'm trying to reach out to 2 people a day about it, but I'm starting conversations and then asking them what they do for work. And then when they ask me, I explain what I do and how it's helped my life. But I'm still brand new. I'm still learning all these hints and tips to use.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do know that I did struggle a lot with the invite. So I've kind of the last couple of days, I was just threw it out there in the group and just said, maybe make a list of what we can invite people to, or some people's examples of how they've been inviting. Cause I know they helped me a lot because I was such a raw inviter at the beginning and not confident in my inviting at all. So some people that are just getting started, within the first couple weeks here, wondering more to what the inviting is about and how to invite. So when we were role playing, like I said before, it was when we were encountering someone. So when we've come up to somebody to add them into your, to just rebuild the relationship or connection. Does anyone want to try and do a role play as in encountering someone you haven't seen in a long time, or a role play as if we were sitting on opposite computers messaging back and forth? Anyone? Amy. I know it's kind of uncomfortable and whatnot, but it could really, whatever we share in these calls can really help all of us. So I'm going to try and see here.
Sure. So Lisa, can you tell me, what do you do?
So you've seen me on Facebook, I'm taking it, Amy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's nice to talk with you. I'm sorry if I haven't reached out to you yet, but I am a stay-at-home mom of 4, and I've started my own fitness business here at home, and I'm looking to speak with people and get to know their goals and how I could possibly maybe help them out. What is it that you do, Amy?
Well, now I'm unemployed, so I'm really watching my money.
Oh, so finances aren't in the best of situation for you guys right now.
Right.
What were you enjoying your work? Was it something you were passionate about, or were you just, what happened there?
Okay, now you got me. Cause
Okay.
I know.
You were
that was when, that was a conversation that I had yesterday. Was she, when I made contact with her, she's like, "Oh, well, I'm now out of work and I'm really watching my money. So sorry, but you're really inspiring."
Right. So I had that today too, where I have no work, and then I went blank myself. So where I replied back, "Oh, was it something that you were really passionate about that you've lost, or was it really just was it just a job that has ended and you're kind of looking to move on to find something that you love to do?" That's all that I sent back. It just came out really super fast. I didn't think much about it, but then I'm thinking, no, that was a good response back. Make someone think, do I just want to go find again that ordinary job that I really didn't like? And if I got laid off or fired, is that okay? Right? Like, it just put in her mind, like, wait a minute, I didn't even know I hated my job. Or no, I didn't like it. So
Right.
I guess carrying off for that, I would say, well, where would we go from that? See, that's why I'm practicing. Like,
what do you guys think? What do you think, Gary?
Yeah.
I think that once you get to that point and you realize, okay, they have no money right at the moment to do it, that's where you go into like the complete rapport building and, give them the personal development tools at that point, instead of trying to force a sale or think about a sale even.
Right.
Because I think if it's in the back of your mind at that point, you're constantly going to be pushing for it.
Mhm.
So I
Right.
think as long as
So
you give,
exactly what would you say?
you know, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, I understand that, you know, you're out of work. I've been there too. And when I was down in that spot, you know, what really helped me was, you know, reading this book or reading this book. Just give them some kind of tool while they're down to help build them back up. And then once they get built back up, they'll be like, oh, hey, you know, this person really did help me at this point. And now, you know, I think I'm ready to maybe try what they were doing on Facebook that I saw them doing anyway that I was interested in.
So
Right.
that'll take it to what we were just saying. Oh, I haven't. Ew. Okay. So we have to remember that, Amy, you reached out to me. I didn't reach out to you. You've been seeing me on Facebook, and you said, "What is it that you do?" And I said, "Oh, you've seen me on Facebook." So you already knew that you at home were out of a job and in a tight money situation. So in my mind, I should be asking, well, then why would she come approach to me? I didn't approach
Well, see, I asked her though.
you.
I
Okay.
approached her.
Well, in our play here, so that's
Right.
what I have to look at is like, wait a minute. So maybe she's not. There's still something that I can help her with. Obviously, maybe it's not with the coaching or getting into coaching or anything. You've asked me what I do. You've seen it through Facebook, and I should have just asked if there is something like, what is it? Why did you reach out to me, or what attracted you to my Facebook to message me? And maybe you'd say, well, I'm kind of just been concerned about my health lately, and maybe that's why you lost your job. Maybe you weren't keeping up and you couldn't perform, or you were tired all the time and lazy at work. Like maybe there was something more that maybe I didn't ask. And so if I'm asking, what was the reason for reaching out to me today, Amy? And you would say,
I don't know. Cause see, and I don't know because I'm not in, I've not been in that situation. I wasn't looking for work when I found Beachbody. I guess I was looking, you know, to get in shape, but I wasn't in that particular situation, but, yeah, I don't know.
it's a fake role play, Amy.
I know.
You're thinking,
I'm overthinking this, right?
you're like, this sucks. I have no job. I have no money, it seems like, but maybe, I could get my health going. I don't know. I see your posts and you just seem like you got it together, and you look happy, and I just want to feel happy about myself. And maybe that will give me the confidence to go start applying for new jobs. And I could say, well, what were your fitness goals? Like, well, your health goals, what are you looking at to improve? And well, I'm looking to lose, 30 pounds, really. It's been a, kind of burden on my shoulders for a long time. I want it gone. I want to start finding something to help me with that. And I know it's not going to be cheap. So I'm just kind of inquiring to hear about what you can offer me for a program to help and what I'm looking at for cost. Because face it, when we're all tight for money, our first thing, we still want to hear. We still want to hear what it's going to cost, because you will come back to it if you can juggle. And like as Bonnie Engel, I took her tip one time in a video when she said, it's not about when someone says no to you about not having the money. What was that? And she said, it's about asking them if they could possibly move their money, right? Like don't ever consider it spending extra money you don't have on yourself. Take the money that you do, and is there any adjustments or any places that you can move your money to make this work for you? And I really liked that, because I didn't have any extra money when I was going to my husband looked at me and was like, that is the most expensive shakes you are drinking in the world, and that better be worth it. Like, are you serious, babe? Our credit cards are barely making truck payments, but you're drinking your chocolate peanut butter shake and bragging about it on Facebook? Like, it really brought, those kind of mixed feelings into it, where I figured, okay, but what else? What have I given up, hon? I gave up a few bottles of wine a week. I gave up eating McDonald's or fast food when I would quickly stop after soccer practices, or Tim Horton coffees and a donut. I gave up a lot. And so it's about it's not about, it's about them rethinking that they're not spending extra money, that they got to find it. And I've had that a lot. Like, we just don't have the extra money once our bills and everything are paid for. I put Bonnie Engel, when she shared that, I started implying that and saying, is there any way to move things around that to make this work for you? Because it seems like it's important to you. And maybe there'll never be any extra money, like anytime soon. So I just gave that option of moving the money around. So yes,
That's a great idea, Lisa. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wayne. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, so you guys have been around longer than I have. It's like $39.95 to sign up as a coach, right? Okay, so at $39.95, can somebody start making commissions? Okay, so if somebody was really, really stressed for money and they had a huge financial need, couldn't they sign up for $39.95 and you could, with your computer or whatever you could, show them the opportunity that they could build some income, that they then could buy a workout program, they could buy Shakeology, but at least they've got the opportunity because they can share other stories until they have their own story transformation, right?
True. But as far as I was aware, you had to, do you not have to already have a challenge program or Shakeology auto order to become a coach? Like, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Just
No, I don't.
You don't.
Okay, so you
But you
won't.
have to be active.
You have to be
You have 50
active.
PV.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got to have 90 PV, right?
You would be drinking.
50.
They would have to spend some money to be an active actual coach, which it doesn't need to be that, like, Shakeology immediately gives us 90 PV, correct? But really, like, it is that investment at the beginning in that program and being proof of the product, right? It is probably doable. I don't know any stories, personal stories of someone just signing up as a coach and running with it and quickly starting to build commissions without sharing their, authentic self of how they've used these products themselves. That's a big risk to take. I would love to ever hear someone that has succeeded with that, but so they do need the PB. So to people that $40 plus $180, even just $50 for Shakeology, is just something that some people are really struggling with to find that extra money for. So we really need to address to them to find movable money, play money, like where you can play with it. If it's something that's really serious to them, where I know some people in their messages, they really want to get started and I'll have to ask my husband. I have to ask my husband. I'm thinking, damn, screw the husband. You want to do this? Just do this for you. Make some sacrifices. Stop buying yourself a purse once a month, or stop, just little things, or just make it work. And I've seen the challenges come along. Maybe not that month, but the next month they made it work. They built up a budget and they moved their money around. So that was just where I would have went next with our role play is just it's gone. So yeah, Amy, back to where I guess that's where I would have started. I know you have no job, you have no money, but you have reached out to me. I would love to find out what your goals were. You shared, you want to lose 30 pounds, build up some confidence like you see me having through Facebook. And I offer to share with you, or I ask what you're into for fitness, if you have any restrictions health-wise, or if cardio is your thing, or strength training, and if you're looking to have more help with nutrition. And then I always immediately say, do you have a few minutes to go over to take a look at this video for 21 Day Fix? It is an amazing program, and it's helping thousands of people around the world get in shape and regain their health. And let me know what you think, and we can go right from there. And that's just kind of my invite is right to, but always asking the questions, right? Just asking why, what is it, what their goals are, what they're looking to do. And say in our role play, it was about health. right? She didn't want to become a coach and start making money. But you never know. That 30 days, she could kill it in the 21-day fix. She could be loving what she's doing, building up all this confidence and self-esteem again. And then you see that, and then you have an opportunity then to approach, are you still out of work, Amy? Like, have you thought maybe, like, I've been seeing all those people on your Facebook that are commenting on your transformation, and like, have you considered possibly doing what it is that I do and making this a business from home for yourself instead of returning to another job or applying somewhere? That's how I go. I'm still such a newbie at this. It is what it is. That's how we're all learning from experience and what's working and what's not. So
really good, Lisa. Yeah, I mean, I've been going out of my comfort zone this last week and really sending out. I mean, I was talking with you yesterday and just sending out messages saying, this is what I'm doing. Hi, Francisco. And I'm either getting, I'm not, although I'm really inspired by you, this isn't something for me, and so, today I was learning about, more about the bless and release, that, yeah, getting a lot of, no. And, when you can, especially when you see that they've seen your message and they're not responding. And it's like, there was a really good friend of ours. And I said, it is okay to tell me no, you're not interested. And he came back right away, LOL, sorry, and it was like, don't be, but.
Definitely. It was there, and it is simple. I guess there is uncomfortable to respond back to us sometimes as much as we are uncomfortable to give the invite. But I love the big old no thanks. Like nothing else, not thank you for thinking of me, but no, it's not a good time, or I'm not. It was just a big old capital no
Thanks.
I was just like, okay, no offense, moving on,
right.
And that's just how it goes sometimes. So you've read Go for No, Hey Amy, or listened to it?
Yep. And Jim Rohn, I mean, I actually shared with my kids, my husband, and I said, my daughter was traveling this last week and my husband was traveling and my son were, and I was like, okay, I want you guys, I know you're going to be driving for hours on end, download this and listen to it, and my husband today was like, that was really good. And we listened to it again this morning, together. And it was like, when he says, okay, how many pages of notes do you have? Jim Rohn asked, and it was like 5, and that's what he's like, does everybody have 5 pages of notes yet? And I'm like, yes, I do. But yeah, the personal development's been big.
Definitely.
I heard Amy say something about the blessed release, and that is something you guys need to use, because if you get to that point where you're just pushing and pushing and pushing and focusing on one person, like I did that. I had a friend, his name is Justin, and since like before I was even a coach, I was already like prepping him, and he was agreeing, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And finally it got to the point where it was Super Bowl weekend, and I just texted him flat out and I said, dude, I need to know what the hell's going on, and I need to know, is it me? Did I do something wrong so that I can learn and do it better? And he said, no, it's not you. He just wanted to wait until he could do it 100%. So I said, okay. And I followed up with him the next week, and he said, yeah, I'm going to do it 1st of March, right before my birthday. I'm going to do it. And it was like the 5th of March, and I messaged him, and I said, well, I just need to know what's going on. I said, I can just send you this link, and you can take care of it on your own end. And then finally I just piped up and said, and I'll be here no matter what you want to do. I'll support you in whatever you want to do. If you need help in anything, I'm here. And I left it at that. Mm-hmm. And he texted me back like 3 days later and said, well, my wife's brother-in-law is a CrossFit trainer, and he made our program for us. So, and that was fine. And I just texted him back. I said, hey, dude, if you need help or anything, or you need advice or anything like that, I said, feel free to ask me. I'm always here. Because I know he'll come back. Because I know the CrossFit people around here and they suck. So I know he'll be back. And he, when he comes back, he's going to come to me because I was always there for him. I've been there for him for 6 months. So you need to learn the blessed release and you need to use it. Don't waste your time on somebody for 6 months thinking, you got to focus on this one person. They'll always come back because if you release them blessedly, there's no hard feelings there and they have no problems coming back to you.
Thanks for sharing that, Garrett. That was good. I've got to apply that myself. Not that I've not been doing it, but I'm now going to be a bit more aware of how I am letting those follow-ups that I continuously feel that I keep doing, because I get Friday payday, I'm doing this. I'm so ready to do this. I'm so excited about this. And she's so engaged. And then it's like, nothing, just nothing. So you're thinking, is she waiting on me? Is there something that I haven't sent? And so do I want to send another message? And I get that where you can get lost in that. And this is still 3 months and she's still saying on payday next week, she's signing up as a coach. So I am so confused. I don't know. I haven't given up, but I've always told her that I have huge belief that this could possibly change her life. And I've just kept saying that, she's believing it. She's still coming along, but I have to redirect some of my focus on people that are ready to jump in and get started. So that was a good lesson for me right there, what you shared. So we didn't really share our stories. I think that's okay, right? This isn't really supposed to be structured, Garrett. You've done these enough times with me. They kind of go off. But does anyone have anything? We got 5 minutes here that they want to share, or that has been on their mind that they've been wanting to ask. Now's your chance. We're here, we're listening to answer it. And anyone want to share something or ask a question? No?
Yeah, I have a question. Who here uses a like page and who has any success with it? I put a couple things in the group about using it because I have one. I don't utilize it much because I haven't really found it to be useful to this point, but I'm to the point where I'm running out of people to talk to. And like I said in the chat box there, I can't seem to get into groups that I try to join for whatever reason. I just don't get, they just don't accept me. And it takes me 5 or 6 tries to get into a group. I think maybe it's my page is just too much Beachbody on it, but I'm thinking about starting up a like page. I just wonder if anybody had any good tips for how to, get that going.
I have a suggestion that was told to me by Lindsay Matway a few years ago. I have a like page. However, I don't really use it. It was a lot of work. And I spoke to Lindsay Matway a few years ago, and she told me not to waste my time if I didn't have enough people on my personal page, to just take some content occasionally and throw it over onto my like page, but not to really concentrate on it. So that's what I do, because I found I was putting in too much work trying to maintain both my personal and a like page, and I didn't have that much, I didn't have a full personal page. I didn't have anywhere near 5,000 friends on my personal page. So I don't know if that'll help you or not. That's just a suggestion that I got that I'm passing along to you.
Okay. That's kind of what I've been doing. So I'll just keep working on that.
I had a talk with Barbie about a like page because I had one going at the beginning, and I didn't know how to run it. I didn't know what to do with it. And you don't share the same content on your profile page as you do your like page. So everyone who likes you as a friend on your newsfeed and everyone in your like page is seeing your stuff like double posts. And that's what I was doing. I was like, oh, well, this was a great post. I'm going to share it on my wall this morning. And then I better throw it on my like page for the people that don't know me. Well, the people in my like page know me. They're the people that are in my Facebook friends. So they were getting double the content. And it was probably driving some of them crazy. And so what Barbie shared with me was like, yeah, she slowly transferred, she put her interests on her like page. So if it was something, things that are about you, Matt, like whether it's a specific sport that you love and that you talk nonstop about, share a sport clip or something, a funny meme of that sport. Or it's about your like page to attract people not just to you for Beachbody, but to you as a person. And so you're continuously putting out content, and that's where it gets confusing. Well, that is what we're doing on our profile, on our wall. So is it the time to be juggling both, right? Like I have a hard enough time posting sometimes on my Facebook page, let alone trying to come up with 3 more times, and it could be just once a day, she was saying, or twice a day, of just something valuable that draws them to keep scrolling through your like page. But never to have it the same stuff, especially in the same minute or the same day. But just slowly developing it is what she did. And then now it's just her main page, right? And so she focuses more on that. I don't know if that helped.
So you guys saying that to actually do a like page or not to do a like page?
That it's not, that's a hard one, whether it's maybe it's easy for someone to manage both and get them both going, and to share your like page. I was involved in groups where in fitness groups, and if I was putting my fitness transformation weeks into my like page, and then I would just share that into that other group, and someone would open it and see, because they see a girl with a transformation, and it led them back to my like page. So that was the importance of being in other groups. So if you're in a group with and something, I don't know what kind of groups you're into, Matt, but if you're into something and you've shared, it can be anything, your sport related thing. You've just shared that post in your like page into that other group, and it will show Matt up at the top, and then your like page's title. So then they're thinking, well, that was funny. This guy posts some funny stuff. I'm going to check out what his like page is about. And it just draws them to it. And that was working for me. But I was running out of what to share on each one. So that'll be my next step up, is being able to do both. So there's probably no right or wrong answer to have a like page or not to have one. It's if you're willing to give the work into both of them and share content from your like page as well in those groups that you're involved in. Did that help a little bit, Matt?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Okay. It's I guess we're all trying to figure this out and on what to do.
Hey, so Lisa, I have a question for you. I am really impressed with your inspirational or your quotes each day.
Okay.
Where do you come up? I mean, where do you get the ideas to post that? I mean, it's like you are a poet every day.
Okay. So are you talking about my morning numbered ones?
Yes.
Okay. So that one, I went to the library. This is honest to God. I went to the library, and you can probably search the internet and you find those 100 ways to be happy, or 100 quotes of the year, or 365, a book like that. There's tons of those little teeny books in chapter or in your guys' bookstore. And I just came across one, and I was like, wow, if I read this every day, this would bring positivity to my mornings. So then I bought it, and I was reading it, and then I was like, well, why don't I just share it? And maybe I'm not allowed, so I do rearrange the words or leave out stuff so it's not so copyrighted, right? But
Right.
And then every night before I go to bed, I read it, what the next day's one is, and then I find a picture. So I read what it's about, right? Like say it's take action. So I go on in my internet and I take action images or something related to moving on. And then I just combine it, and boom, there's at least one post for the morning. Super quick, easy. I had 100 days of it. I'm at day 69. And I was like, wow, I've done this consistently for 69 days. Like I got this, right? And I think I panicked and I missed one till noon one day. And I was like, oh my God, everyone's going to think I'm quitting because I didn't post my number 66. It's funny how we create such a habit and a routine by such simple things like that. But I've been asked before too, where are you getting these? And it's something simple as a book. And you can probably find something on the internet with inspirational quotes for the day. And like Lisa, she she posts great things, like little quotes and sayings periodically throughout the day. They're a sentence long, but I stop and read it. Right?
I do too. You guys are awesome at that. And I mean, I tried one the other day, you know, and I just went through, because we take a lot. I mean, I'm always on the back of the motorcycle taking pictures no matter where we go. And I thought, okay, I'm going to start just using my own pictures and then start doing inspiration. You know, my problem is that I spend 10 minutes or a half hour trying to get the letters on the thing the right way. And
yeah,
next thing you know, it's noon. No.
I skip creating my own pictures for now. Like, I was just finding them that what went with what I wanted to talk about. But I've played around with PicMonkey and stuff like that before, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna admit, I got lost on there because I could sit there for hours and create. I am so creative. I could just create all this stuff. My husband will come in and be like, "Are you coming out for supper? Like, what are you doing?" And I'd love to get ahead on creations like with posts, but everyone's busy. Again, majority of you guys here have full-time day jobs, so you know, I give you all credit for the amount of work that you commit to your business daily on top of your full-time job. So I wish nothing but the best for all you guys, for all the efforts that you guys do, that this truly, you know, will create the life that you guys want. So I'm stuck here at home trying to just create something for myself as well. So, well, if that's all that we have, I'm going to stop recording and call her a night. Thank you guys for still coming on the call, even though Scotty's not here. And it was nice talking with you all.
It was great, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you guys. All right.